G'day everyone, Nicholas Devine, Assistant Professional out here at the magnificent Lake Carrinup Country Club. And today we have another review for you, and this time we're concentrating on the Ping iron family. Now I've only got 3 of these irons in the family with me. There is a blade version, but it's not a common version of iron that we sell here at Lake Carrinup Country Club. I don't know what it is like around the rest of the world, but for us here it's not a common iron. So we're going to be looking at the 3 big models here that we sell at Carrinup a lot. The Ping i200, the Ping G400 and the recently released Ping G700. So hang out for this video. We'll run through the data on all these 3 clubs, and then I'll give you a little bit of a spiel at the end to let you know what I think best suits these clubs as an individual based on your handicap or your skill level. So anyway, hang out for this video. Let's take a closer look. So I'm going to try out a new format today, a format that I haven't tried with doing videos before, and I'm going to try and give you as much information as I possibly can in a short period of time. So now with the setup on my screen, you'll see my ball flight data coming up. You'll see pictures of the club I'm actually reviewing. Off to the left, you'll see an image of me hitting the shots, and then in the top left hand corner you're going to hear me talking about the review that I've done on these clubs. Now I did do the review on these clubs a couple of days ago, so I had a fairly good amount of time to whack these clubs and see what they were capable of. Now like I said, it was the i200, G400 and G700. Today we're going to start with the Ping i200. Now just remember, just like normal with me, I am using the SkyTrack launch monitor to grab all my ball data, and I am using NXT Tour S as the golf ball. Now as you can see, like I said, I'm running shots down the bottom, hitting it, and you can see the ball data coming up on the screen. Now first shot I hit came in at roughly 146 meters. Now for me that's generally how far I hit a 7-iron. When I try to max out on a 7-iron with my personal clubs, I can get anywhere from 149 to 151, and you'll see as we're running through the data on all these shots that I hit that I do actually get a couple of shots at that distance. Funny enough, being a Ping's better played club, it comes in at 33 degrees of loft. When I mishit one, it came out at 142, so there's quite a separation between your good strike and your bad strike. I mean, my best strike with this club was at 151, and then my worst one was 142, so you're talking about a 9-meter separation between good and bad. And if you're looking for that little bit more forgiveness, then I probably wouldn't be looking at the Ping i200 as the iron for you. But great feeling. It is more the attractive head when I look at it. I don't like big chunky heads, and generally better players don't like big chunky heads. And also when you have big chunky heads, you don't get that shot shaping capability like you would out of a blade head. But we'll get onto that later when we start hitting shot shaping shots with these 3 models. Now here we are, Ping G400 now. Now this iron is a really great feeling iron. It feels amazing off the face. It is a slightly bigger head than the i200. It's actually a lot chunkier of a head. But as you can see there, first one there I've automatically got out at 152. I think the worst one I hit was just the one that you just saw on the screen, which came in at 147. But there were ones there for a 7-iron where I got out to about 158 to 159 in distance. I might even be a 160 when I look back on it. But again, we've now got a stronger iron. We are now down at 30 degrees of loft. So it is 3 degrees stronger than the i200. Now you can see shot shaping wise, I hit a lot more draws than I did with the i200, and that's because it has 0.20 offset inches of offset in comparison to 0.09 inches of offset of the i200. Now the green one coming up on the screen is Ping's all new Ping G700. Now this thing is 29.5 degrees of loft. It is only 0.5 degrees stronger than the G400, but because of the miraging face, this thing rockets off the face, and there were shots there that were up to 161, almost 165 in length. So that iron is an extremely long iron, and when we talk about miraging face, we're talking about a real face there, which is a high, strong grade metal that they've been able to make really thin, so the ball really does rocket off the face. So i200 for me at the moment is for your better player, G400 for that mid to high handicapper, G700 exactly the same area, but if you're looking for that little bit more distance, then probably the G700 would be the iron for you. Now let's get into shot shaping, and you saw the shot shaping just coming up just now. We started with the i200. Now I had to hit one low, hit one left, hit one right. i200 easy as, had no issues with that whatsoever. On first call, I was able to do all those shots. And as you can see right now, the i200 fade coming up on the screen, 146 meters, roughly how far I hit a 7-iron. So shot control was really easy. Now G400s are now coming up on the screen, and sorry the colors haven't come up like they did with the other shots. Took me a couple of goes to hit a low penetrating shot with the G400. As you could see, there was another shot that was up on the screen that went to the left. Because of that offset, I always was starting to get a bit more of a right to left shape with that. So hitting a low shot, you'll always get a little bit right to left. Hitting a hook was easy. Hitting a cut, you can see there, again, that took me a few attempts, but I got a high cut out of it in the end, but I also blocked it, and that was me trying to accentuate that ability to hit it left to right. Now G700, like the G400, has 0.20 inches of offset, so it's quite a significant offset. So again, like I struggled with the G400 in hitting that low penetrating shot, I was able to hit hook quite easily, but that cut shot almost went dead straight, and it took me a few attempts just to even get kind of shape on the club. So when you're looking at shot shaping, i200 of course being the smaller head, piece of cake, easy to do, shot shaping capabilities amazing. G400, not so much. It was a little bit tougher to get that kind of shot shaping out of it, but you can do it. But again, G400 and G700 is purely out there for people who are looking for a little bit more forgiveness, wanting to get the ball up in the air as much as they could and hit that right to left shape. And that's what those two clubs did. Same with the G700, like I said with the G400, shot shaping capabilities, okay, but again, you are going to struggle. i200, if you're looking for shot shaping capabilities, i200 is the iron for you. Okay, so now you can see all the ball data that's come up on the screen. Now let's just quickly look at overall distance first, because that's generally the one everyone wants to see. Now, 145 average with the i200, which is where I expect it to be with a 33 degrees of loft. Moving to the G400, 153 meters in overall length, and then the G700 158. Now I did hit some longer shots, but of course I hit a couple of mishits with each, which brought the averages down. But as you can see there, the G700 29.5 degrees of loft, of course it's going to go longer than the rest, but it also had a slightly better ball flight for me than the G400. It actually flew a little bit lower, and you can see the image coming up on the screen now. Overall, G700 went the longest, like we can see, but if you're looking back now at spin numbers, and this is where it gets interesting, spin on the i200 6481, spin on the G400 6288, and then a massive drop, well, a fairly decent drop of 400 RPM to the G700 with 5868. Now, because the G700 is a floating face or a hollow head, you're not going to get the spin numbers that you normally would get out of a club. But as in ball flight, it was flying quite high, so it was able to stop relatively quick when it hit the ground, just the same as the G400. But then as you can see there, even though that the i200 had a weaker loft at 33 degrees, it actually flew lower than the other two. So there's a lot of technology in the G400 and G700 heads that make that ball fly extremely high, considering they have stronger lofts than the i200. What else should we look at? Those are probably the two most important things. Is you want to see how far it's going, and you want to see the spin numbers. All the three clubs had stopping capability. All the clubs had some sort of shot shaping capability. i200 had a lot more shot shaping capability than the other two, but we would expect that from a better playing iron, a more compact head design. So it is going to have a little bit more shot shaping capabilities. Anyway, there you have it, the three irons on the board. the main 3 irons that we sell here at Lake Karrinyup Country Club, like I said, there is the blade version, but it's a very much a version that we don't sell so much. Generally, if we're selling pings, we're selling them to club golfers, and we're not selling the blades to the better players. But it is still a great iron, so you might want to go out there and try that. Now, leave a comment in the comment section. Like I said, let me know how you think of this format. Let me know if it worked for you, or if you think I should just go back to the way that I used to do it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, make sure you like the video, and then make sure once you've subscribed, hit the little alarm on the right hand side. That gives you notifications of when the next video is coming out. And then most of all, we'll see you next time on ND Golf.